Thanks very much, Premier. So it's pleasing to see our vaccination rates increase, and Ms Pearce will address the booster coverage which we've achieved, but it's great to see that we've got that greater than 95% 16 plus and 93.9% of people aged 16 plus, and our booster levels increasing. We currently have 2,722 people in hospital, including 181 people in ICU, of whom 72 are ventilated. We've had 17,316 positive test results returned, including 7,382 positive rapid antigen tests and 9,382 positive rapid antigen tests and 9,934 positive PCR tests, and that 9,934 positive PCR results were returned from 65,715 PCR tests. So thank you for the community for both using those RAT tests but also continuing to get those PCR tests. It is a key strategy that we continue to ask you to isolate if you have symptoms and to get either a rapid antigen test or a PCR test. Sadly, we're reporting the deaths of 29 people with COVID, 19 men and 10 women. And can I pass my condolences on to the families for their loss of their loved ones. Of the 29 people who died, 2 people were aged in their 60s, 8 people were aged in their 70s, 13 were aged in their 80s, 6 people were aged in their 90s. And 4 people had received 3 doses of the COVID vaccine, 16 people had received 2 doses, 2 people have received 1 dose, and 7 people were reported as not vaccinated. It is important, as I read out those deaths and the vaccination status, to understand that age and underlying chronic conditions are key indicators of the risk of severe COVID for both hospitalisation and death. But that data also indicates that vaccines work. And can I just reinforce everything that the literature is throwing up, every report that is published, every study shows the benefit of having that booster dose. Now, just because we're asking you to have a booster doesn't mean that the vaccines in any way don't work, but what we know is the Omicron variant's changed a bit, and that 3rd dose will actually increase your protection, and it is critical that we get the population boosted. I particularly want to see anyone with chronic underlying health conditions, anyone over 65, get vaccinated now. And all of those people around those individuals. The reason it's important for you to get a booster is if you get boosted, it reduces your chance of actually getting infected with COVID, even if you might have had a milder outcome, and protects you transmitting it for all those people and those loved ones that you might come into contact with. So I'm also urging people that are doubly vaccinated who may think that's enough to get me through, to urge you to get boosted so you actually protect the elderly, your broader family, your people that you may not be aware have chronic underlying health conditions. To protect them, get boosted. The Premier also touched on the interval, so clearly when you're recovered from COVID, you can get a booster. What we're pragmatically saying, just to give people a bit of guidance, is usually all symptoms have resolved after that 4-week period. So if you've got COVID and you need to make a booking, that 4 to 6 weeks. But if you've got particular circumstances, underlying health conditions, please check with your doctor. Depending on how you were diagnosed or the circumstances, they may provide different advice. But that's just a pragmatic advice. You can get your booster when you're well. That will generally be 4 weeks after you've had your infection. So thank you.